T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Welcome to a chill review. This time it's Mezco Toys, John Wick Chapter 2, John Wick. John is packaged in this highly reflective tin right here. He's a Mezco exclusive. Looks like this right here. This on this side, this on that side, this on the bottom, and down on the bottom as well. We have this image showing you basically everything that's in there. And of course you just pop the lid. And if you want to see how things came packaged, I'm going to have a link in the description to an unboxing video I filmed. Being a deluxe exclusive, Mr. Wick comes with a lot of accessories. Let's start with the basics. He comes with a Ziploc bag that you can store everything in, or mostly everything in. And you can write John Wick right there if you like. You get this display base right here. It has a printed on texture right there with the John Wick Chapter 2 name. Looks like this on the bottom. It has a peg right there. He has peg holes in the bottom of both of his feet. And if you want to make sure he doesn't fall off your shelf, you can peg his foot into it. Optionally, you can pop the little peg out. Store that away in your little Ziploc bag. And you can take this stand right here, which is just a plastic, transparent plastic arm with several hinges and this little attachment on the end, which has the grabby arm. Plug that in here, and now we can suspend Mr. Wick in midair. Of course you can do poses and whatnot, but I'll do that after I show all the other accessories. Here's Mr. Wick's new canine companion right here. Nicely detailed, nicely painted. Looks really realistic. They even went as far as to make sure you knew that it's a male down there. And they even painted like, or sculpted the little paw pads and whatnot. So, really cool. It is static. It does not move at all. It's just like one of those little model animals you find in Target. Mr. Wick has several hand options, starting with the fist that he comes with pre-applied. Note that each of the left hands will have a wedding ring. The hands pop off of the peg, easy enough. Mr. Wick has a pair of open graspy hands right here. He has a pair of martial arts hands, one shaped like this, or I guess palm hitting hands, and he has a chopping hand right there. Knife holding hand, gun cupping hand right here, and as you would expect, two trigger hands. He has a little tiny watch with actual like strap details and whatnot on there. It is very small, as you can see. While you're swapping out hands, you may as well just go ahead and put that on the wrist and then apply the hand, and it can actually fit underneath of the sleeve of his suit jacket right there, as you can see. Here's his weapons chest that you saw in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. I can't remember if it was in Chapter 3. But nicely detailed. It's made out of plastic, but the texture makes it actually feels like it's made out of wood. And it has these metal hinges right here. And this metal clasp. To open it, I'll show the bottom after I take everything out. But to open it, you need to like basically press in on that and then open it. And as you can see, here's the same setup you saw when he opened up that chest with all his weapons right here. And his gold coins right here. The stack of coins actually has something, let me see if I can aim on this. Is that sculpting right there? Oh boy, look at my fingers. And it looks like a lion at the bottom. These are actually pliable. Getting these two trays out is kind of difficult. I usually use a spudger on one end, then pull up on the other end, do that. Try to get my fingernails, which I just cut off for this video, under there. But basically, do whatever you can to get that up. It does have these these handle holes right there. And each and every one of these is stacks can come out to let you see the trays are detailed. And I like the texture of it. It kind of feels soft. And this inner gray part, that comes out as well. Inside, we can see some of his bigger guns. Now, in the movie, I saw this actually stored in here, but this gun and this shotgun were actually supplied to him on a overseas mission. But anything else should be able to be placed in there that you don't have space for. If you don't want to put it in that Ziploc bag, you should be able to put most of the stuff in there with the guns. If you can't, I would just put it in a Ziploc bag. But here is this. It's kind of raised in the middle for some reason. Let's start things off with his decorative weapons. These weapons weren't used in the movie. You saw this briefly at the beginning because he used them in the first movie. So as with this being a deluxe, I guess they wanted this to just be decoration. Why I say that is because, as you can see here, he comes with these clips, and typically in a Mezco gun where it's actually an accessory, or they intend it to be a main accessory, you can take the clips, or the cartridges, sorry, out of the bottom of the guns and put the new cartridges in there. You can't do that with these guns. The bigger handguns look like this. The quality feels better than something you would get with Marvel Legends or whatnot, but it's just a regular black gun. There's like no engineering. It's just sculpted like this. Like I said, the cartridge doesn't slide out, and this part doesn't move back, but it does have a little port so you can put the blast effects, which I'm going to show later. He holds these nicely. The finger goes into the trigger area with ease. All right, here is the cartridge designed to accompany those two guns. You can see the bullet painted in there. Both of them look like this. Here's one of the smaller guns. Still has a port in the front. Like I said, it has no mechanics. He holds that just fine. And although the gun is smaller, the cartridge that is supposed to complement that is actually wider and basically thicker than the other one. Here's a combat knife. There you go. Fits into the knife holding hand fairly easily. I typically always put knives like this in characters' hands. This is what he looks like wielding that. Last of the tray accessories is this grenade right here. He is capable of holding it in the trigger hands, but keep in mind that this is wider than any of the guns. Now let's get to his main weapons that do have some functionality. Here's this gun right here. It has a removable cartridge right there with the bullet. It also has an extra one, I guess, if you lose this one, but there's no specific place where you store that. Pow pow. Before we keep going with all the guns, I'm gonna start showing the blast effects right here. There's this blast effect with a bullet on it. We have this typical one that comes with damn near every Mezco figure that has a gun. You get the rapid fire. Now, I think this shouldn't be bent that way, so that's frustrating. I'll probably have to warm that up and move it. And then this big explosive blast right here. Unfortunately, it seems as though they didn't do a clean job cutting some of the ends of these. Definitely this one right there, I'm probably gonna have to cut that myself. All right, with that little piece cut off, you can just shove that in there, and now he's shooting. This gun I don't believe he used in this movie. I saw it already in the case, but this is like a triple barrel shotgun, as you can see right there. This can actually move, and it does appear to have paint right there. And you can blow people away with this effect right there. And here's an example of the cusping hand right there. You can either put it there or pretend he's grabbing that. However you see fit. But because of the way the thumb is, yeah. Or you could just use another trigger hand so it can actually wrap around it. Here's this shotgun he used in the tunnel. You can see it has a round stored right there. Yeah, I don't think this doesn't have any like real functionality. This doesn't pump or anything. Pow pow. I know it's probably not that effect. You don't want to bend you don't want to bend the pegs like I just did. And the last gun, this one right here. Functionality this one has, you can pull the magazine out right here. You can see the bullet. All of the magazines has an extra bullet. And he actually has this magazine holder right here. The magazine looks exactly like this one. What you can do is take this off, port the magazine into this, okay, and then just put that back into the gun. And now he doesn't have to go too far to reach for the extra magazine right here. And here he is spraying bullets. And so we can get to the final accessory. Let's look at the face he comes with already pre-applied. People's biggest complaint with this figure, the face sculpt is off, especially on this face right here. But as you can see, he has great hair detail right here. And you can see the pores in the skin when you get up close. I think it's something with the eyes. But depending on the angle and whatnot, I think you can get away with it. Depending on the angle or how you're looking at it. Sometimes certain angles it looks just like him. Other times it's like, yeah, who the heck is that? I think they probably did a better job on there. John Bernthal right here. So maybe they should have put this one back in the oven a little bit. The promo pics are prototype pics, and they make sure to put that in big writing so that you don't complain later, or won't be able to complain because things will vary. That one was painted, but it seems slightly different from even that. I think one major problem, this hair is like slicked all the way back. He only looked like that I can remember so far. I'm watching the movie again when he came out of the shower at the beginning. But don't like this face, pops out. He has a dumbbell right here, and we could take this one and put this one on. Well, this one honestly kind of still looks like the other face, but it's a little bit closer and is a little bit more representative of what his hair looks like through most of the movie, because he gets beat up. But still nice beard detail, and you see the paint, the blood, and the pore texture and all that junk. So I'll probably go with this face. Now finally, the rest of him. Here's his suit jacket right here. You'll see stuff like, I guess this is, I don't know what to call this. It's not a real button, but it's like a, I don't know, a vinyl texture that's glued to it. But my biggest problem, let's get this out of the way. I can live with pretty much everything else on this figure, but this tie is like a mess. I think the problem is it's made out of, where did I put her? It seems to be made out of the same material that the Marvel Legends Storm's cape is made out of. And they didn't go ahead and affix it to here, so it like pops out more. I think it would have been better if this collar was a little bit tighter and that was like underneath of there at all times. I might have to see what I can do about that, but that's the main problem. I'm afraid that that's just gonna peel off of here and come off. And as you can see, they did go the extra mile of putting like buttons on the collar where it should be. They have these fake buttons there. They have pockets everywhere. Pockets on the outside. Here's the belt detail, which is nice. You can see the shirt underneath of this, which probably has button detail on there. I can't tell, I'm not taking it off. He has butt pockets back here. His legs are black plastic, at least down here, to mimic socks. Here are his shoes. You saw the treads on the bottom of his shoes right there. But let's now get into the articulation. Like I showed you, that dumbbell, since his neck is long and goes down in there, it basically only has that movement at the bottom. So you can look down like that much. You can look up that much. It tilts and of course rotates and whatnot. Jacket, naturally, just like all of these Mezco figures, it's going to be restrictive, but the arm can go up to that far right there. You can rotate it forward. Actually, you can rotate it all the way up right here, as you can see. The elbow bends. It can bend more than 90 degrees, but it's a single hinged elbow. And with this jacket on, it stops right there. I'll show you outside of the jacket, and it can rotate right here. Wrist is on it's a universal hinge, so you can swivel and put it however you see fit. He has an upper diaphragm ball and I believe a ball down here in the waist. So you can get a lot backward and you get a lot forward. I'll show that without the jacket. And you can tilt a ton. That's how I got that thumbnail, because you can tilt a ton, and of course tilt and bend forward and mix all that up. The legs can go out that far before I feel like I'm gonna rip something. You can kick forward all the way. And I'm gonna be honest, with all the Mezco figures, I don't know how they have this shape right there. They don't have any butts, like any of them. So it always looks weird, kinda. Kick back a little bit. It does have a thigh rotation up in there. There's a double hinged knee that bends that much. And the foot appears to be on some sort of ball pay post right there. And go back that much, comes forward, not that much, and you can get ankle pivot out of that. And of course the foot rotates all the way around. If you put the watch on, remember that when you're taking the hands off to get the jacket off, before you just drop this little tiny thing on the floor somewhere. Put the arms back and just pull that off. Maybe you should bend the elbows inward. That'll help. And here's what we're working with on the inside of here. And look at that. I didn't realize you could just, oh man, Plastic Addict asked me if I could, did I take the cotton out? You could just take that out like it was a last minute addition, but no pockets on there. Here he is without that jacket on. Let's let you see the articulation without the jacket. We have that. There is no bicep swivel, but did that. I moved the arms all the way up, even with the jacket on, so you can still do that here. It doesn't appear to be about to rip. The arms, I watched Unboxing Art's review on this. His stitching on his sleeves was a mess. This is what it's looking like here. I don't know if that's the same. I think he had like threads coming out. Looks good to me. That looks better to me, and my weapons and all the accessories look better than his to me. But the elbow, as you can see, bends slightly more than 90 degrees. It would have been nicer if it could go even further up, but there you go. Even when you rotate, you still have some of that access. So you can still get his hand up to his collar. Let me use this hand since he has that freaking watch on. You can get the hand up this high and you can touch his face and do all that stuff you might need to do. Now, one thing I'll complain about, I was trying to hold all my negative stuff towards the end of this. One thing I'll complain about is the arms, even though they aren't double jointed, which would have been nice. You do get good range on that elbow, like I said, but the one thing you don't get good range on is the inward motion right here. Unless I just now finally found a way to fix this mess. But I wish the arms could go in more. They didn't give this body a butterfly joint. So the inward motion right there would have made things easier to manage posability wise. But here we are with this. Like this shirt, I'm not sure if it's actually attached to the pants like they normally are, because he has a lot of mobility right there. Here's the inward crunch without the jacket on. Here's the backward crunch without the jacket on. Even when the figure has shortcomings, you can figure out something to do with them. Like this ab articulation on this figure is very great, so I love doing poses like this where I have them twisted around and whatnot, because I promised a real stand pose right there. But before I go pose crazy, let me get the mandatory size comparisons out of the way. John Wick is 17 centimeters and just shy of being 7 inches tall. Like, it's at least 6 3/4 inches tall. Here he is next to various 6-inch action figure lines: Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe Classified, Fortnite, UFC. As you can see, he is a little bit taller than all of these. Here's how he scales with other Mezco. If John Bernthal is 5'11" and Keanu is 6'1", that's about accurate right there. Here he is next to a McFarlane Toys Keanu Reeves. Johnny Silverhand from Cyberpunk. Yeesh. Some of these Fortnite people are smaller, but not this guy. So if you wanted to do a Fortnite crossover, that's what it would look like. Too big. And here's the dog. Alright, final thoughts. Full disclosure, this is my 3rd time filming this. I have been spoiled like crazy thanks to my friend George, the Plastic Addict on YouTube. That's what he calls himself, or on the internet. Plastic Addict, that's his screen name. In the group chat that I'm in with him, he made sure to spoil everybody else's opinion, put his opinion in there, show me a bunch of pictures over and over and over. There was no avoiding it for me. And since I'm 2 weeks later, I broke down and watched other people's videos, and I heard all the opinions and whatnot. So I came into this video knowing exactly what to expect. So, and to be honest with y'all, when I pre-ordered this, I knew what to expect. I knew 2 things. Number 1, look at these faces. They are not 100% screen accurate. In fact, one of them looks like just a Wolverine that they tried to make look like Keanu. So I knew 2 things. 1, the face is not going to be completely accurate. And 2, he has on a jacket, and jackets are always restrictive. Now this face isn't completely accurate, but it looks more natural and flesh tone than the prototype image, which I'll put right here again. That I could tell was painted, hand painted, and probably wouldn't, the official figure wouldn't be hand painted because none of them look like that. That's a Diamond Select situation. But this face is like looking straight on. When the person who designed this made this, it probably looked super great to them, but it's a little bit off. But like from certain angles, like mostly looking down and whatnot, like I have that face, it looks like him, but straight on it does appear to be a little bit off. But going into this video, I knew that it was going to be a little bit off, so I'm not super judgmental. Now, one thing I wanted to see in person that was being complained about, my main complaint about anything on him is that tie. That tie looks a freaking mess to me. That's my main complaint. My weapons, I was watching Unboxing Art's video, and his weapons to me looked worse than what my weapons look like. They look like they got melted or something. Like they definitely look like KO. Mine's look better, so I don't have to complain about that. At least they look better to me. Now, having said all that, I spent a lot of time with this figure as well, messing with it before I did the review. So I learned it and learned it and learned it. I didn't just open it up and review it. And like I said, I knew what to expect. I'm not super critical of it, but looking at those promo pictures again, I could tell that the arms possibly weren't all that posable, and he had on a jacket. In the promo pictures, they did not show him having double jointed elbows and whatnot, so I never knew what to expect as far as his body. It would have been nice, so I'll just say this. It would have been nicer, since he is a dual wielding character, if he had double jointed elbows, and I also would have liked it if he had the regular articulation, well, the articulation they use sometimes in figures like Blade, where it's a ball joint at the base of the neck and a double ball post at the base of the head. That would have definitely been more fun for this, but they did not advertise that, so I don't know why people are so upset with that. Here's my suggestion for Mezco in the future. Don't just, since y'all already make the decision on what body you're going to use, like the prototype images for the faces and the clothing, because look at the clothing right here. The stitch work in the prototype clothing is horrible. Look at, you could visibly see the stitches, but in this final figure, you don't see any of that, and there's actually more detail. There's fake buttons on there, there's pockets, there's no visible stitch work, so this stitching looks way better than that prototype image. Prototype image looks like a jean jacket. It looks like he's wearing jeans and not dress pants. But having said that, they know what body they're going to use. It should be straight up advertised. They should put a picture of the nude body, since they only have a select few bodies. Put a picture of the body they're going to be using, and then people can make their decision right then and there. Like, oh man, I don't want that. And then y'all won't have like great opinions like what's going out right now. But it's also my suggestion for Mezco. Retire this body. Nobody likes it. It has single jointed elbows. It's 2020. Nobody wants that in 2020 when there's a better option. Stop using this body. Just give us the newer updated bodies. That's my suggestion for Hasbro too right now. Retire the Bucky cap. Y'all said y'all retired it years ago, but still keep using it. Burn it. Burn that mold. Just use the Spider-Man mold y'all been using that has more articulation. But anywho, besides the tie really for me, and the face being a little bit off, it comes with a bunch of accessories that I love. It's John Wick. The suit is okay. I like it. I can live with everything else. And based upon my other Mezco purchases, it doesn't fall below my expectations of when I pre-ordered the daggone thing. So there you are. That's my final thoughts on it. Plus, this is an exclusive. If you didn't already pay for this thing, you can't buy it anyway. So this review probably didn't even really help you unless they plan on doing a re-release or you plan on buying it off the secondhand market. So after saying all that, thank you for watching this. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should click those videos. Click that shit. Go ahead and click that shit. If you did, you would like it. Really click that shit. Now I'm freaking gone.